Bad boy.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? You've tuned in live to the Flyest Sports and Entertainment Podcast in all the land. This is statlinesmatter. I'm your host, Mark E. Stewart, as always, with my partner here, Rob Hunter Jr. Before you say anything, let me remind our great audience to hit like, comment, and get the notifications on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, which is where we are right now. This obviously helps us with building a fan base, and we appreciate your support. And you can definitely continue to support us by encouraging your friends to do the same. Mr. Hunter, what's good with you?
What's good? Yeah.
What's happening with you today, man?
Hey, look.
Hey, you see I put up Frank.
Oh, yeah. You got, okay. And she'll love it, too. Oh, new genetics. Yeah.
So I have this, I just wanted to speak on this real quick because I know I get a little heat from my Chicago people because I'm both a Chicago Cubs and White Sox fan. And that proves it. I have a signed Frank Thomas jersey that is on full display here on Statline.
Did he sign it? He said it's signed, you know.
Who you thought? I signed Ron Karkovice.
Whoever that is. I don't even know.
He's a backup catcher for the, he caught a little bit. They used to call him the deputy. He looked like the police.
Well, that's not good.
Yeah, looking back, yeah.
Yeah, that's all bad. Yeah, I got a full disclosure. You know, and I'm not as prepared as I normally am. We had a bit of a snafu at the house last night, so I got started late. My middle son, I'm not gonna say his name for those of you that follow my YouTube.
Well, he
channel.
know he the middle son.
I don't care if he look at this and find out. I'm just trying to.
He knows he's the middle son.
But the wife discovered contraband on his phone last night.
Like
so,
what? Like weed?
Porn.
Like, porn.
Yeah, like he was about to go to bed. I was about to start
That's
prepping
what's up.
at like 9:30, and then all of a sudden I hear Rob. Rob, and when I hear it like that,
you know it's the real live bullshit.
So I was like, "Is it something on my phone?" Like right. I was like, "Oh, you know what? I gotta make sure I erased everything." You know, and I came upstairs, and sure enough, like he had like on his phone, he had that action. Yeah.
So wait, let me rewind because I'm trying to think. I know who we talking about.
Yeah.
What's he searching?
Well, okay, so
out of curiosity.
All right, so there's a couple of things here, right? So
like unpack.
So he sent. I guess he was trying to erase his track, so he deleted the GIFs or the videos.
Good work.
But he sent them to himself in the text message.
Bad work.
And that's where because she looks through his text messages.
Mm-hmm.
So
this is precisely
so she
why.
was like, "What is this?" And I'm looking at it, and I'm like. Oh, this is, I don't know what this is messed up. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and yeah. So what she's trying to do first is trying to figure out was it sent in error? How did he get it? Mm-hmm. You know, before she went and got him.
Yeah, maybe it's spam or
so we
like phishing or something.
So I figured out that
maybe you did it.
Yeah, maybe
you picked up the wrong phone and
so he sent them to himself. And so her and I like
for later,
for later
for the bank. He wanted that in the bank
for later consumption.
The spank bank.
Yeah. So see, that's why he be like trying to have his phone at night. We confiscate the phones in the evening from both boys. So I'm like, in my mind, right? I gotta like I'm in my mind like legit. I'm like, oh, he's right on schedule. But yeah. But I gotta act more.
You have to. I'm sure that was a Oscar level performance. This is an outrage.
Sure, I'm so beside myself, and I know she low key thinking he get it from your ass,
right? Of course.
So, I'm also relieved in the same space. It is pretty much conventional porn. You know what I'm saying? It's you know, it's every guy's first most porn is, you know, white girl porn. You know what I mean? So I was relieved that it wasn't like, you know, some old other alternative bestiality, you know, some crazy stuff. So I'm like, all right, cool. We good. In my back of my mind, I'm like,
That's so funny. My mother's gonna watch this.
I'm just thinking to myself, like, hey man,
your mother's gonna watch this.
Hey, he right on schedule. You know what I mean? So but she's hey man, and when I tell you beyond 38, She's 39 hot. She was super.
So what's the punishment? What is the see? I guess porn was out when my kids were that age, but we never had. I mean, I'm sure they checked in, but we never had the moment. So, what's the punishment for something like that?
So there was an interrogation eventually. Like, okay, so
did he deny it?
No, because so the funny part is, as we're trying to figure it out, I got his phone. He looks down from the, I guess it's a catwalk.
Yeah,
he looks down.
Yeah,
he sees. He's like, Dad, can I see my phone? Can I see my phone? He comes down the steps, and then she's like, "No, you back up." He's like, "Dad, I just need my phone. I have to ask a question for some homework." Has to ask a group chat. He's literally reaching past my wife.
It's outstanding.
And then she starts to get turned up. Back up, you back. She's like backing him up, and I'm like this. I'm like, boy, I'm looking at the actual action. And I'm looking at like, boy, I was like, you done stepped in at this time. He's like, no. He's like, why do you need the phone? Why? He's like, because I have to ask a question about the homework. It's like 9:45 at night. So she's trying to get the phone, and all of a sudden she told go sit down on the couch. So he goes to sit down on the couch. And it's just like the worst denials. One of the denials was, I don't know how I got on there. I don't even know that much about phones.
Hey, but you know what? You know what would have been gangster, and he just owned up. Yeah, that's me. I'm with the life. What y'all gonna do?
Yeah.
What you gonna do?
I like it. I be like, damn, son.
Because what happens if he goes, I'm about that life. I like to see people getting it in. What do you say? What's your comeback?
Like,
well, you should stop liking it.
Yeah, you can't be liking it just a little early for that.
Yeah.
Get this.
All you can say is have a really upfront conversation.
Boy, you in middle school.
About when it's time for that.
Yeah, you in middle school, but then to top it all off, he goes to a Christian middle school. So it's probably rampant, you know what I'm saying? The
turn up is real at them Christian schools.
So anyway, he's like, but when he said he didn't know that much about phones, let me tell you what he know about.
The phone.
Technology.
Yeah.
He know how to get around all that. So she is beside herself.
I'm sure.
She is
inconsolable. I know Marie very well.
She is just like rocking back and forth.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and so he and I probably both were like, what's finna happen next?
Sure.
Because I didn't know because honestly, I'm not
but
really.
what you gonna do though?
I'm
like,
not
what's
really,
gonna really
and
happen?
I wasn't really that upset because I was just like, that's what we do. That's what we do.
That's like, you supposed to go trying to figure out what's what.
Boy, hey, let me tell you something. First time I actually seen something like that, I was 8 years old. And it was my dad's stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So very early I was exposed to that XXX stuff. But the first time I had access to my own
You had early exposure to everything.
I was 13 years old.
Alcohol, porn.
I was 13 and I had one VCR tape. And that tape was like gold to me. It was like, there's people doing it on this tape. And that's awesome. And you had to wait till everybody go to sleep to look at it. We had to wait till the coast was clear. And so if I would have had a smartphone, like I said in one of my bits, I never would have graduated high school. I just would have been under the covers all day and all night. Because this is like, when you got a tape, you're restricted to the starlets that are on the tape.
Yeah.
That's all you got.
Whoever they cat.
Whoever's on there, that's all you got. But with this, you could be on here looking for some mixed, and then, end up getting it off to a Ukrainian midget. You just like, man, that midget was fine as hell. I didn't expect all that.
That was surprising.
that was so, because it's the page that the home page that come up. They're gonna have a couple of new selection for the day. It was like, man, that threw me off. There's oftentimes you go on looking for a certain slice of something and you end up going in a whole nother direction because it was not. So
that's really funny.
To wrap it up, I guess she just sent him to bed. She's like, I don't even know how to punish you right now.
I don't even know if there is legitimate punishment for that. Like, it's really more just a conversation. Because if you demonize it, then you're setting up. Setting it up.
And I ain't finna demonize it. I'm just gonna be like,
well, I think you have to have a conversation about context.
What should I say? Yeah, what should I say? Because literally, all I said was like, boy, you messed up now. That's what I said.
No, I know Marie was hot. You know what'd be funny? If, how when you're on an airplane and when they go to talk to everybody, everything goes off, like the movie goes off, the volume, like everything goes off. Wouldn't it be funny if, like, in your house, when somebody logged on to porn, all the TVs and all the sound switched to, like, that one universal? Like, that would be hilarious, because then you'd be like, and who was searching?
Let me tell you something.
That would be unbelievable, because then I'd be like, ew.
Let me tell you something.
Why are you searching that?
They'd have been to put me out by now. They'd have been to put me out by now.
You should be able to add that mechanism to, like, as a feature, as a protection feature.
Yeah, because like I said, I know.
Because then you get to see who's really about that life. Like, because then if you don't care, then you don't care. Yeah, like, I'm logged in.
But I know she was thinking. He got this shit from your ass. Like, I know she was thinking that, but in the moment, I ain't do it. You know what I'm saying?
And you were happy that you were in the clear.
Oh, sure.
You were like,
sure.
hey, you done messed up. That's right. You were super relaxed.
Well, and then at the same time, like I said, I was relieved because, like I said, man, kids is into all different kinds of things, and they're more advanced than they were when we were coming up.
Way too much, though.
Yes,
it's way too much too soon if we keeping it above.
So I was just relieved that it was your regular old conventional, white girl porn that we normally all got, our first, and then we expanded to the other, starlets and different ethnicities.
Mom, I just want to be clear. He's only contributing to that part of the conversation.
But it was I was like, okay, that's normally your first taste of what that is. And so I was relieved. I found some stuff. She don't know this. Now, this is a new admission. I found some stuff on Robbie's phone back when he was like 12 years old.
You didn't say anything?
Nah, I had a stern conversation with him. I was like, look, you need to be able to stand by whatever it is I find in the dark. I'm going to let you have this right now, but I'm going to tell you something. The next time, I'm going to tell your mother. So you need to make sure that you do what you need to do to ensure that you can continue this privilege. But this is between me and you. I ain't going to say what I found. Just know I found it, and you need to handle your business. And that's how I did it. That's
extremely vague. You basically told him to do a better job of, like, clean your cookies, boy.
Hey, let me tell you something. He was good ever since. You know what I mean? So
he about to be in another year. He about to be the age of, like,
doing it.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I mean,
you caught me.
but yes. So anyway, that was that lasted to like quarter to maybe 11.
Oh wow!
It was like
y'all had a night. Y'all definitely had a night. I know we be heavy on the Kanye conversation, and I know I'm always at you about this Kanye thing, but Kanye won't stop doing stuff. And so we have to keep talking about it, right?
Yes.
So most recently, I guess him and your boy Antonio Brown, these your people, Kanye, Antonio Brown, they have launched Donda Sports.
You just pause right there.
I'm just gonna I'm thinking about their meetings.
Well, that's what
I'm thinking about. Like, what
were there any meetings?
What type of crazy? What they talking about?
Well,
it's an apparel company.
Yeah, a lifestyle apparel company, right?
Yes, for athletes.
But it sounded, I don't know. It just sounds like, particularly with who he named to be the president, it just sounds like that's some shit that happened when you're at the club and y'all turning up and you whatever substances y'all on, and it's just like, hey, I'm doing this. You want to be the president? I kind of think that's how unicycling got started. Like, you were just so high, you're like, you know what I want to do? I want to ride a bike with one wheel.
Yeah,
and no handlebars. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that's nobody sober made the unicycle.
It's funny. I had that, just to digress a little bit. I remember we had a group that that you were around at the time, and we went to take some meetings. Actually, it was one of the few times that me, Lady, and Trick took meetings together, the three of us, and we were seeing Leor Cohen, who at the time I think it was chairman of Def Jam, and I think he's at YouTube now, and we had this group with this concept, and it had all of these things and layers to it, and we explaining it, and he's like, if you know him, he's very charismatic, and he leans back in his chair and he goes, That's the worst fucking idea I've ever heard in my life. It sounds like you guys went out for sushi, had way too much sake, and came up with this bullshit. And I'm like losing it. Cause I thought the idea was dope. But to your point, sometimes, and it wasn't. We actually didn't come up with that over sake, but I've always been conscious of that since then to make sure your concepts don't sound like that.
Yeah. And I think, so so I have just some questions about the company. Is this a paying gig to be president of Donda Sports? Is he being paid? If so,
well, you know what his first move was.
When did they list the job? Because I didn't see it. I'm on LinkedIn and Career Builder. I didn't see no.
Yeah, I would apply.
I think I'm just as qualified.
Well, the first thing he did as president is he bought a suite at the Super Bowl for $2 million.
$2 million, a little bit over. And he said, he released a statement, I feel as president for Donda Sports, the responsibility to book the suite. You book it. The president don't book the suite. I mean, so I just.
Not in my version.
Did you interview him? What was the interview process? What was, I don't, look, you know me. I kind of like
team Ye.
I kind of like
you team Tonio
that Kanye did. No, I'm not team Tonio.
You like Tonio a little bit.
Nah, not
you
really.
You've not
really.
been critical.
Or maybe it was Antonio's like, man, I need a job.
He's like, all right, I'm gonna start Donda Sports.
Yeah, I've been out here.
You the president.
I walked out on my last gig, and I don't. Hey, look. That one I don't know, because if he's president, what does he know about apparel?
Kanye gonna take care of that. Kanye knows a lot about apparel.
Correct. So then what's Antonio Brown? Is it just more of a cachet? What does he bring to the?
The only thing that Antonio could bring to my business is route running.
Yes, and great route running.
Excellent route running.
Yes. That's it. And chaos.
If chaos is part of your business model, he's your guy.
If you want that. Yeah. Hey, look, man, I hope that it works out, just because, I think that the things that Kanye has been able to do have been really cool, from the listening parties to the albums to the concept albums. The apparel obviously has been something that has been, culture shifting. So I hope that it works out.
I don't know if you saw this just as a like a little afterthought, that Kanye, I guess, was trying to get Kim's number. And he called somebody that I know, Larry Jackson from Apple Music. And
you got Kim number?
No, that's exactly what he said. Give me Kim's number. And then Larry hit back, here you go, and sent the contact. And then Kanye screen caps that and posts it.
I did not know this. So you got firsthand.
It's everybody's it's online.
But I'm saying, Larry.
I know Larry.
I don't know. I've talked to Larry, but I don't know Larry.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Larry's a legend.
Crazy.
Yeah, but the fact that
I did not know this.
Kanye put it up, I'm like, bruh.
Why would he do that?
Bruh. I know Larry's like, really? You gonna put me in the middle of this?
Man, I didn't see that. I didn't know that he didn't have the number to his baby mama.
They're having issues, clearly, and they need to get. And I can't even say her. He needs to get off of social media with.
He said he was gonna stay off till the 22nd of February. He said he was just gonna do the album. That's what he said. He was getting a massage. You ain't see that footage?
No, I don't. I try to let Kanye work through his issues in private, despite his.
Yeah, he want to bring us in.
Yeah, I try to let that man have his privacy.
Yeah, he was getting a massage and said, he said I'm not going to have a cell phone till February 22nd. He's focusing on making his album, and he was getting a massage. Why saying? I thought he was supposed to be moving to Russia.
I don't want to see nobody getting a massage.
He's supposed to be going to Russia, and I hope doing the Donda Sports.
I don't think he should go to Russia right now. We having issues.
From what I understand, they ain't too friendly to black folk over there
with
either.
Putin and Ukraine. Where are they friendly to black people other than black nations? That's another discussion. Anyways, let's talk a little bit about. Let's get into your. You be cracking me up with that.
What? Hey man, hey look, you prep, you got your technology. I got my old school.
I don't have nothing.
I'm like Mel Kiper. I got my
notes.
spiral notebook.
I got no notes.
I got a spiral notebook.
This is aesthetics.
Mel Kiper. You know what I'm saying? That's how my evaluations runs a 4 or 5.
I don't even know where to begin because there's so much going on in the NBA right now, so much to unpack, so much to talk about. There's a part of me that wants to start with the Lakers because I love bashing the Lakers. I love bashing LeBron. It's a favorite thing of mine. But I think we really need to start with what I think is the biggest story of the moment, and that is Brooklyn is in a
free fall.
Like, I could only be described as a free fall, like a implosion of sorts. But I don't think, even for you who 2 years ago called for implosion, but this is not what you described. This is injury, COVID, vaccination, I want to be traded. Like, this is that. This is not like these guys have been on the floor and couldn't figure it out. I actually think when they've been on the floor, it's been scary, and that was never going to implode. And me and you had that argument. So this is one of those things where you got to the right answer, but your math to the answer was wrong.
Well, the implosion, I said, there was 2 different implosions. The first implosion was going to be by All-Star break, and that was before they added.
That was 2 years ago.
That was before they added Harden.
Right.
When they added Harden, I said it'll be the second round of the playoffs, which turned out to be right.
But due to injury.
Hey, what did Sco say?
Yeah, but I'm saying
no, it was due to injury.
It was due to injury.
So now, but what this is what part of the reason that I thought this. Well, the first reason why I said for those of you, I can't, was that on the podcast that I?
Yes.
Part of the reason was I just said that they have gentle mentals. There's not a leader among them, and that was just between Durant and Kyrie. And they added Harden, and it's the same thing, but that was enough talent.
Leadership is not the issue.
That was enough talent to get them at least to the second round. But with what's going on, but another reason was, and I said this as well, is that, man, you know, them dudes get hurt a lot. And that's what's going on right now between, you know, Kyrie, who is, another, mental thing, which is the vaccine. He doesn't want to get the vaccine. So even when he's healthy, even last year, he was still taking time off for personal reasons, and it was the social injustice, and he finds ways to miss games. And with
he does. He literally does.
With Durant, Durant again is just battling. He once he got hurt in the Golden State series. I forget which one it was. With the was it the Achilles?
Yeah.
It's just now it seems like it's been chronic things that just popping up, and Harden has always had some hamstring issues. And so the three of them, even if Durant comes back, and let's say Kyrie does decide to get vaccinated, or they get rid of the rule, or Brooklyn decides to pay the fine, whatever.
Yeah, whatever it is.
And I still think that you are asking a whole lot for all three of them to stay healthy or to find a way to stay on the court for the rest of the season. If they can do that, then I still think they're the favorite to come out the East, hands down.
Yeah.
With the Lakers, between.
But no, let's
okay.
Before we get there, I was going to say, I still believe that, and I don't even know who the GM is for Brooklyn, but I think that roster is almost perfectly for what they could do to have that much at the top of the roster, and then how they filled out the roster.
It's guns throughout now.
It's gunners, like get Joe Harris back, Patty Mills. You got shooting on the wings.
Patty Cake.
You got LaMarcus in the post, who in and around the basket still gets
LaMarcus, Blake,
Claxton for energy. Like their roster composition when everyone is healthy is a championship team. And it's the reason, even in this moment, they're still the Vegas favorite to win it all.
Yeah, but you think with Harden coming out, or there's been recent rumors that he wants out. For a couple of reasons.
Him and Kyrie aren't getting along.
Well, him and Kyrie aren't getting along. He doesn't like him and Nash have had some issues with the rotations, particularly late in games, because Harden seemingly wants a kind of fixed rotation to close out games, and Nash he rocks with the hot hand.
And it's hard to get a fixed rotation when players are in and out due to injury. Like they don't have their guys.
And from what I read on Yahoo, he doesn't like living in Brooklyn, and he doesn't like the state tax coming from Texas.
He knew that.
Yeah. So, but I guess given
when he orchestrated the trade,
I think he was cool with all that in the beginning. But like, if Kyrie ain't coming to work and then Durant's out, I think then he doesn't like the rotation. Then all of a sudden, Brooklyn is not such a nice place to live in. Like, I don't like hip hop that much.
Well, yeah. I mean, listen, I'll be the first to tell you because I lived in New York. I didn't live in Brooklyn. I lived in Manhattan. But New York is an acquired taste. It ain't for everybody.
And he doesn't like the climate. He doesn't like the climate.
And it's just a lot of people.
So do you think, and normally where there's smoke, and then where there's smoke, there's fire. You see when Harden, he left Durant one time and went to Houston, and now he's, left Houston in Brooklyn. I get the feeling, and I could be wrong. I don't know Harden, but I get the feeling he's one of these guys that kind of doesn't need a championship. Do you think that does he give you that feeling like I got to have it?
He doesn't give me that. I think
he's shooting a career low 3-point percentage as well.
Yeah, he's not shooting the ball well. Like the way I've seen him.
In his whole, he's been shooting. Yeah. He's been in the league a minute. He'll be 33 soon.
He hoists a lot of shots, and he's not. His perimeter game ain't what he used to be.
But you would think coming into the season, right, that it will maybe the sharpest it's ever been, just given the fact that you have a real shot to. I mean, if there's ever any motivation to get in the gym, it would be. Man,
I think Kyrie's thoroughly on his nerves, and I think as a guy on the team, I think he knows that Kyrie is. You see me. That Kyrie is way more mercurial and odd than even probably the public knows. He probably knows things that we don't know. And it might be looking at that going, I ain't dealing with this. And then also knowing that if he can move this Philly move and he can go pick and roll with Embiid, that can win a championship.
Yeah, it might be
a better chance of him winning a championship if you got him and Embiid.
It's a delicate dance because he needs Brooklyn to sign him to an extension in order to get the most money, because if he leaves via free agency, he's going to lose tens of millions of dollars. Yeah. So he needs Brooklyn
that will answer the question whether or not that will answer the question whether or not it's the money or the ring.
Yeah, that's true.
If he can sign there free, because here's what I don't think. Here's what happens if I'm Brooklyn. I trade him by the deadline.
By tomorrow.
By tomorrow. Or yesterday when this comes out.
So the sign and trade. So you do the sign and trade. And
I'm not signing him to shit. I'm trading him. I'm trading him as is. Let them re-sign him.
I mean,
I'm trading him and getting Simmons back.
Can you do that? Meaning, can they do that?
Because the salaries are similar. They can make it work.
Yeah,
but it's a much better deal. And I'm sure if you're looking at it from the Philly side, you're trying to figure out how to weigh it because Harden has an opt-out. He does not have to stay in that deal.
That's why the sign and trade.
Simmons is signed for several more years. He's locked.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of value in it for Brooklyn because then your core now becomes Ben Simmons and Durant for a period of time.
So right now they sit at, I think, the 8th spot. They're in the play-in.
Yeah,
the Brooklyn Nets.
When Durant comes back, they'll immediately be out.
So you think but the question is just from you put on your Swami hat, if you will. Do you think that this team that it all works out? Do you think they're all able to get on the same page? Do you think?
I think they're running. I think and we'll talk about this when we get to the Lakers too. I think the issue is that at some point you run out of season.
Yeah.
At some point, you just run out of the amount of runway that you need to get the plane off the ground, right? So I think, like you said, and I agree with you, if everyone's on the court, and I think it's very different than the Lakers. When everyone's on the court, this is a very, very good basketball team, the best in the NBA or second best in the NBA, depending on.
I think they're better with Ben, though.
I agree. I think if they get Ben Simmons and can runway it up, get KD back, runway it up, get Harris back, which is looking shaky because I think he's going to have another ankle procedure, so they might have to shelf him for the year. But even with Patty Mills and I think that combination, and he improves him tremendously defensively.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah,
because I've always been saying even when they got Harden, I was like, the shooting wasn't the issue. The scoring, it was the defense.
Yeah,
and that just got worse. If you sign Ben, that totally goes from an area of need to an area of strength, and you get rebounding.
You get rebounding, and I don't think you lose much in the playmaking.
No, not at all.
Because I think
you
he's
got
very
a true
capable.
Facilitator.
Yeah, like Harden.
Yes.
And because Harden is not shooting that great from the perimeter.
So then you get less empty possessions.
I think so.
Which are basically turnovers.
Of course.
Yeah. Mean, so basically, I'm drawing the distinction between an actual steal or a block or a bad pass out of bounds to just a bad shot.
Which
amounts to a turnover.
Like on a expiring shot clock, whatever. No, but we just don't know what kind of shape Ben is in, how long it's going to take him to get in game shape. I don't know, man, because in a way, though, like, you got him and Kyrie, like, now you got 2 head cases.
But, I mean, you got that with Harden.
But Harden ain't a head case, though.
I think
Harden's not a head case. I don't think Harden's ever been that. I think Harden is making a business decision that is set forth by the way LeBron has changed the game. I think he's literally sitting going, where can I put myself in my best chance to be me and to control my legacy? Like LeBron has created that amongst players. And I think Harden has taken advantage of that. I don't think Harden has ever been a head case.
Do you think that the hamstring injury is how much stock do you put in that?
I think it was a DNP coach's decision. I think the last 2 days,
really,
I think the organization is exploring the move, and they don't want him to aggravate an injury or even show that he's injured.
Well, yeah, because Harden ain't got to play himself nowhere.
No, they know what you're getting. You know what you're getting. So I think the last 2 games, what I've read is that it was DNP coach's decision last 2 games.
Wow. Yeah. I didn't see that at all. Wow.
So I think they're trying to see if there's anything there, and I think that's probably pissing him off. Like I want to move me. Like, see, the player wants everything his way. He wants to hold the team up. And that's what I'm saying. If I'm Brooklyn, I'll move him. You're not holding me up.
I mean, if that's the case, so we'll have McCollum that has been moved to the Pelicans. I think it's a good move for the Pelicans. I think that the Trailblazers are in a total rebuild. And I also think that, I know I didn't mean to jump in this direction,
please.
But
that's what we're talking about.
I think that they need to also explore, particularly for Lillard's sake, moving him. Given the Anthony Simmons, and they'll have 2 2 lottery picks, their own, and they'll have the one that they just got from the Pelicans.
Is that protected or unprotected?
It's protected. Yeah. So that loses a little bit of value. Well, there's protected between 5 and they'll get it if it's between 5 and 14. They can't get it if it's 5.
I never understood why people trade like that. It's like,
and they got 2 second-round picks, which I'm kind of like, but I mean, Jokic was a second-round pick.
Yeah, Ayo Dosunmu.
Yeah, so and I think that as it relates to the Pels, right? You look at Ingram, you look at McCollum, you look at Valanciunas. I think, and you look at now, I believe that Zion actually has a reason to, a little bit more motivation to come back. They're in the play-in right now. If they manage to win the play-in and make it to, the playoffs, I believe there's reason to be excited. It's not.
The Pels are in the play-in?
They're right now. They're sitting at like at 9 or 10 in the play-in.
Really?
Or they're either 2 games out of it. They're close. And so the point that I'm making is now that they got McCollum, I believe there's
because
reason.
Portland was right there and they just tapped out. So to your point,
there's reason, I think, for optimism in New Orleans. Just given the foundation of what they have, given those 4 guys, Valanciunas, Zion, Brandon Ingram, and CJ McCollum, if they can somehow get in that play-in, win the play-in, and then make some noise in that first round, maybe lose a 7-game series, maybe advance.
That ain't gonna happen.
But what I'm saying is that's a reason to, I think for me, that's a reason to be excited in New Orleans, because McCollum is I can't believe
he's a baller. I
can't believe that they got him for what they got him for.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, and then like I said with Lillard, Lillard ain't coming back this season. Now there's literally no reason for him to come back.
Where's he going?
Well, I don't know where he would go, but I'm saying there's no reason. I'm saying there's no reason for him to come back from injury. That's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, I assumed that he wasn't coming back.
Bradley Beal's not coming back.
Yeah.
Guys are just seemingly opting out. On the injury thing this season more than ever.
So you're right. So New Orleans right now passed Portland and got into the 10 spot.
So they're in the 10. So yeah, because 8 through 10.
8 through 10.
Is it 7 through 10?
7 through 10.
7 through 10 is
7 through 9. No, 7 through 10. Right, those 4 teams.
Yeah, okay.
That's
because they play each other. Yeah, okay.
Or what I like to call the Laker tournament.
So the Laker tournament, that, if they're able to to advance, past that, I think that that's the reason for optimism there. So that's my Pelicans note.
Let's talk a little bit about the Lakers real quick. Another loss to a good team. They got blown out by
15.
Yeah, it was worse than that. They were down by 30 at one point, and I think it's interesting too because I think they were going to sit LeBron out. Did you watch the whole game?
No, because of the ruckus.
Oh, right. You were in the middle of Porngate.
Yeah. Damn it.
But so the game, it couldn't have gone any worse for Laker Nation, right? So you get blown out. You're getting blown out. You get to the end of the third quarter. This game has only gone one way, the whole game. You put LeBron on the bench. He's got a little tweak in the knee. The backups and AD, I think it was a group led by AD. So you had Russ on the bench, you had LeBron on the bench, and then you had AD leading a group of, you had Reeves out there, a couple guys.
They be giving Reeves minutes. Austin Reeves gets his, I don't know what he got.
Solid player though. Like he doesn't make mistakes.
I've watched, now.
I don't know. I don't know anything about him
giving
until
him 22, 23 minutes.
But you got there. But you can't play the starters.
7.
He deserves to be.
I'm talking about in November and I was like, why are they giving this boy all these minutes?
Hey, he's played his way in. But the point being, they make a little run.
That's Jeannie's grandson.
They make a little run, and they cut it to like 11. So everybody. Crowd is looking like, when you gonna put Bron back in? So Bron is ready to put the ice on the knees. He's ready to do that 90s Bulls ice on the knee thing.
Yeah. Icy hot.
Take this L and go on with it. So all of a sudden, Bron pops up. They're down 11 with 4 minutes to go, 5 minutes to go, and Bron comes in, and it just Milwaukee got hot again.
It seemed like they stayed hot.
Yeah, well they had cooled off because the Lakers had gone on a 23-9 run.
Like, Antetokounmpo only missed like 2 shots.
Yeah.
And went 2 for 2 from beyond the arc.
Yeah. And so LeBron comes back in, and, because you had to bring him back in. You had no choice. So now, instead of him being able to kind of
rest up for Portland.
Yeah, rest up for a very depleted Portland team, which he probably end up sitting out tonight. They should be able to get that game with the backups. He comes in, plays till 23 seconds left. AD's playing. Russ is on the bench. So then at the end of the game, I don't know if you saw this, but like at the end of the game when AD and LeBron are over there licking their wounds on the bench, like Russ comes over like, it's all right, guys, we out here. And them dudes had a look on their face like, bruh, you ain't even going to be here, bruh. Like, I need you to go sit down. You're not even going to be here on this team.
Yeah, I did see that. I saw it on IG.
Yeah,
that's everywhere.
No, and when it happened, I was like, yeah, that's gonna be a moment, because it was like he was trying to rally the troops, and it's like, stop trying to look like a good team player.
Yeah, we almost got this deal done.
Do you think? Let me ask you this question: do you think that Russ is taking the lion's share of the heat for what's wrong? And I actually think it's unfair.
Because
he's not the only thing that's wrong with this team.
So we talked about this a little bit last night, where I think I was talking to you, where we talked about a lot of Russ's inefficiency has he's playing in basically C markets in OKC and Houston's not, but Washington and where it was covered up, and then he was also getting a lot of triple doubles, and he was the guy. And now you're in LA, you're playing with LeBron, and a lot of those, because he was hitting the side of the backboard in the construction, in the other places.
Facts.
So now it's just you play in LA, you play in New York, you play in markets like that, and particularly with a player like LeBron or Durant, whoever, you're one of those top.
Well, you're on a
five
good
guys.
team too.
So. Is it his fault? I'm gonna die on this shield, man. AD's missed 21 games. LeBron's missed 17. That's 38. I think they played 55. I don't know what the team is because they haven't had a chance to really. They play 17 games together. I think that's what that math come to. Mm-hmm. That ain't, they got to get a chance to, get the gel on up.
But do you make that same argument for every other team? Because every other team is suffering the same way.
Well, I think
every other contending team.
I think that when you
Brooklyn has the same problem.
But they don't because those three guys because they've been together. You add in Westbrook. When you add in Westbrook, you're trying to figure out how that particularly a ball dominant player like the way that Westbrook.
Year, those guys didn't. How many games did they have together last year?
I don't know.
Like less than 20.
I don't know. It could have been more than that.
I mean,
we don't know. We don't know.
You want me to Google it?
Could have been 70.
You know it wasn't 70.
Could have been a lot more than that, Mark.
No, the only reason I say that is because one of the things that I noticed, and I'm going to get roasted for this. Let me just look at y'all and tell you that I'm going to get roasted. But what I saw in the game last night, and I say this respectfully, I saw LeBron. I felt like LeBron was just padding his stats so that the narrative remained, it ain't me.
But how would an off night last night change that narrative? One game ain't gonna change that.
Because I think that no, you're right. One game's not gonna change anything one way or the other. But I didn't see and I guess maybe I'm spoiled as a Chicagoan watching Michael Jordan.
Lord. In
those situations, really rallying his team and understanding what it means to really galvanize your team to try to turn like a misfortune or a stretch in the game around. And like Mike had this way of challenging his teammates. And we know that. We've seen it in The Last Stand. But those of us that watched his career know that he's like that. LeBron, I didn't see him doing that. If anybody else did, get in the comments, let us know. I saw him going, well, let me get a bucket. Let me get buckets right now. So when the game is over, I have my 30, I have my 9 rebounds, I got my 8 assists. So we can say I didn't have the help around me. I didn't have that narrative stays in place because we're so numbers driven. But if you're the GOAT or if you're in the GOAT conversation, forget the GOAT conversation. If you're one of the great players of your era, get your team together. Get your guys together. Why are these games, why are they 3 games under 500 with 27 to play?
Because they spent 38 games not playing together.
Brooklyn's not 3 games under 500.
Yeah, but they were 2-9 without Durant.
Yeah,
2-9 without Durant.
But they're still well over. They built up games against bad teams that they've beaten because they're good players.
You like Brooklyn. That's what they both in the play-in. What are you talking about? They're both literally in the play-in.
Context though, right?
No, they both in the play-in.
They're both in the play-in, but the Lakers.
And how many games has Durant missed? What does he miss? He ain't missed as many as LeBron didn't miss.
No, I mean he hasn't missed.
Right, but they getting their ass kicked without him.
But but in the games that he's played, they win. Games LeBron played, they still lose.
Nah, they
had all 3 of their guys last night and got their doors blown off.
Look. Giannis came out.
Don't make me go do a study.
Giannis came out.
You know I got a job.
Anytime Giannis is hitting threes,
he hit 2 threes.
He hit 2 threes.
The Lakers are 18 and a half games out of first place.
44 points, boy.
And they're 4.5 games out of the all important 6 seed.
Hey, look.
They need to get to the 6 seed.
They got to win tonight.
They're gonna win tonight. Be 2 games under 500 with 26 to play.
They get this thing rolling, and then we gonna come back next week.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you like this.
Have a different story.
I'm gonna tell you like this though, because I know they're gonna rest some guys tonight. They better win.
They better win.
They better win.
They better be.
I don't care if it's by 1 point. They better win.
What, Anthony Simmons, Ben McLemore.
Yes, a team that just met each other.
Yeah, the other day.
Yeah.
Like they just pulled up to the gym.
They better win. I know.
Hey, y'all want to run?
And the truth of the matter is, LeBron shouldn't even get on that plane.
He might not, because the air out here mess with your knees and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'm dead serious. He should stay and recuperate because they're going to need him.
So this will be a game.
They should not need him to go.
This will be a game
Portland.
where Russ gets 25 points, 17 rebounds, 17 assists, something like that.
But see, this is why you got to look at Vogel crazy, because you're going. You set
unless
him,
they move him.
But think about this. Follow me on this and tell me if this makes any sense. You got a game last night where you were blown out in the first quarter. So if I'm the coach, I'm going to play Russ and go, man, go ham.
Yeah.
I'm going to need you tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm going to need you to go 25, 17, and 11.
Yeah.
He sits him in garbage time.
26 minutes.
In a game where it doesn't matter how many times he hits the construction. Right? Tell him to go out and man, run up some numbers because we going to need you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because I'm going, LeBron, I don't even need you traveling.
Yeah.
It's Portland.
Yeah.
And that was if McCollum and them was there. Now the team is, like, they're doing trade stuff. You're going to get a shell of a team. You don't need LeBron. You don't even need AD to win that game.
You shouldn't. You shouldn't, because the guys that they do have been there, and they have won a few games against bad teams. Yeah. And this is one of those nights.
This is one of those nights.
They could use that. They could use that.
And you tell Russ, hey, I need a 40, I need a 40, 20, and 20.
Hey, Russ, do
you. But now you got him shook because you sat him on the bench in the garbage time.
That's true.
The whole fourth quarter. I mean, I don't know what Vogel's doing.
You think you do? So what are your thoughts on you want to? We can move on, but what are your thoughts on Vogel? Just period. I didn't think he was that good.
I didn't think he was that good
in Indiana.
I
didn't think he was that good in Indiana.
And I told people that when they hired him, and I got roasted by my Laker contingency
because they gonna like whoever they hire
and whoever, like, the local.
Oh, we love Mike Brown. Mike Brown's gonna take us to the.
No, listen. I never thought I wasn't a big.
Mike Dunleavy's the best.
I wasn't a big fan of his, and now you're getting what you get. I think he's taking a bad situation. He has taken a bad situation and made it worse. We have our eye on that situation. The Lakers have, before we move on, the Lakers have the second hardest remaining schedule.
Yeah, it was the first coming out of Christmas.
Yeah, and
out
now
of Christmas,
remaining, and Milwaukee has the first, but they have the second.
Yeah, oh no, they didn't put themselves behind the eight ball. Yeah. So what I'm saying needs to come to fruition, like in a hurry. Like, those three guys need to find it, and they need to. Obviously,
it's 26 games to play. They need to win 21 of them
to get to what, 50.
I don't even know what the goal now is. I think the goal has to be
to get to the
sixth seed.
Yes.
You don't want to be in the play-in tournament because, one, you can lose that.
But damn, you get the sixth seed.
And then you win it, you get either Phoenix or Golden State. And you're not, I don't care if they got everybody. They're not beating either one of them teams. I don't care if everybody's healthy. I don't care. They're not, this team, this narrative of, respectfully to your opinion, this narrative that if not for injuries, this is a good team is false.
I'm not saying there will be a good team. I'm just simply saying we don't have enough data with all of them. They ain't been out there long.
Well, we don't have enough data on how bad they really are.
Or how you want to look.
Because when you talk about the shield,
we don't know how bad.
You talk about the shield you're willing to die on. The shield that I'm willing to die on is this. I said in the summertime, and you know that I said this. I said, this ain't going to work. These are not good pieces.
Okay.
Russ, ball dominant, LeBron.
You said that when they won the championship too, though.
In the bubble.
When they won the championship.
In the bubble.
When they won the championship.
A championship played like no other championship has ever been played.
But you still said it, though.
I said it.
All right.
Yeah, but I mean, and I stand by
I didn't know they was going to be in the bubble. That changes it.
Of course. It was a condition.
You can't think good in the bubble.
It's a condition that will never, ever be played again.
Probably the hardest conditions ever been to win the championship.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. I mean, I mean, what does that even mean? I can't argue with that. All I'm saying it was not a typical championship executed in a typical.
So maybe that one's worth 2.
Maybe not. Maybe it's not even worth a half. Maybe it's 3. Maybe LeBron has 3 in a possible.
Okay, we're going to space.
But I'll say this. I thought this team was poorly comprised.
That ain't even. You gotta have
in
4
its pieces.
books. You can't 3 in the possible. That's bad.
That's just the one person though.
Yeah.
Like, the other person
gotta have. What if he ain't got nothing?
No, you can't bid 3 in the possible. You gotta bid. You gotta go 4. You gotta go 4. Yeah. But I'm saying I got 3 in the possible, and then he got his 2. Then we got 5, maybe 6.
5 in the possible.
Yeah,
okay.
5, maybe 6.
Right.
But no, listen. I don't think this team is going far. I think I think there's this feeling amongst Laker Nation that they're going to get together and run off a string of games, and it's possible. But I think when you see what happened last night, like they played defense in spurts, not consistent.
Hey, Middleton didn't give 2 craps about who was guarding him last night.
Nah.
And Giannis was. I mean, they just and Connaughton was. They played a perfect game last night. They did give up 116 points, the Bucks, but I thought offensively for sure wouldn't that first half was a clinic.
But also
against a team that's struggling to play defense.
Yeah, and
so it was a perfect storm.
And I think allowing open threes is bad defense. And they were open threes. They wasn't,
especially in this league now.
Yeah, So, anyways, let's talk a little bit about the Super Bowl before we get out of here. We got the Super Bowl coming up.
Who you like?
I'm not that excited, but I am excited. Does that make sense? I was supposed to go, full disclosure, I was supposed to go to Super Bowl, decided not to go due to COVID threat. I just don't, I know people have their opinions about COVID, but I just was not ready to be in a football stadium with 75,000 people breathing and yelling and screaming. So I'm going to stay here and we're going to do our show and continue on. I'm excited for the quarterback matchups. Matt Stafford is a guy that I think with Staff and this Ram team, they got to win it. They have to win it. The pressure's on them. Staff's it was Detroit. It wasn't me, it was Detroit. That narrative only closes out if he gets the ring.
You think so? You don't think he closes it? No,
because then he goes from no playoff wins to 2 playoff wins.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. The boy that came out there, 41 touchdowns, I believe he threw 17 picks.
Yeah, I mean he's always put up numbers. He got better numbers than Dan Marino.
And I think he's quieted a few critics making it this far.
Has. That's fair. He's quiet. He's quieted me a bit, but you gotta close him out.
So who you like? Maul?
Before we get to that, what do you think the keys of the game are? What has to happen for the Rams to close this out and win it? What do you need to see?
Well, okay, so I think the Rams defense have to take advantage of the Bengals
offensive line.
Yes, particularly the pass protection because they gave up. They average around 3 sacks given up per game, 2.8 to be exact. Yeah. And so when I looked at the matchup, that's where what I saw the only disparity was. Because the defense give up 22 points a game. They're separated by 0.2 points. They're separated, I believe, by about 5 yards per game given up overall. And the quarterback play is fairly similar. The yardage, a few hundred yards off, but Burrow missed the game. Mm-hmm. And obviously the receivers match up pretty evenly. I still would give the edge probably to Cincinnati. Even though they have because T. Higgins and Jamar Chase have put up huge, and Tyler Boyd. So I think that just given that they're deeper from 1 to 3 than I think the Rams are. Cooper Kupp to Odell Beckham, and I don't even know who the third receiver is.
Jefferson, is that his name?
I thought he got hurt.
Is he hurt?
Yeah, is Van Jefferson still in there? So
Woods got hurt. I know
Woods definitely got hurt. And no, I think Jefferson got hurt too.
Oh, you know who the third receiver is?
Who that?
Is Ben Schroenick, a rookie from Notre Dame.
So there you. So then the Bengals definitely. Yeah. Anytime you got a Schroenick playing a skill position, that ain't good for Schroenick. Yeah. So that's where I see if they can now here's the thing though, just given that being what I feel like is could be the thing that could win it for the Rams. the Bengals have overcome that the entire playoffs.
Yeah.
And really the entire season. But if they finish the season 10-7, and okay, I'll go out on a limb first, and I'll say I like the Bengals. I like the Bengals to win the game, particularly. They gave up what I believe it was 19 points to the Titans.
The defense is playing outstanding.
Well, and then you look at how they finished the second half of the Chiefs game.
Yeah.
They gave up 3 points in 3 periods.
Yeah.
Meaning the third quarter, fourth quarter, and overtime.
Chiefs played into that,
and the Chiefs got the ball first in overtime.
Yeah.
So when you look at what the Bengals are running hot, and I believe that they don't know no better at this point.
Yeah.
And when you win a game, you go on the road against. And I guess the Titans. That's not the toughest place to win, but Arrowhead is.
Yeah.
And you had the hottest offense in the playoffs. You had the hottest quarterback. He threw 11 touchdown passes, and you shut them down in the second half. You were down 21-3 at one point. You finished the half 21-10 in that first half. I just think the way, and then look at this. Check. Matthew Stafford does not have the winning pedigree that Joe Burrow does. Right? You look at Joe Burrow. He won state championship. He goes to Ohio State. Doesn't like the situation there. Transfers to LSU. Second season. Wins a championship. Where they at now after his second season? They ended back in the championship. Yeah. This is familiar territory for Joe Burrow. Whereas Matthew Stafford, you look at I don't know what he did at Highland Park out there in Texas. But you look at what he did at Georgia, he never even played for an SEC championship. I ain't talking about win one. He didn't even play for an SEC title. I ain't talking about no national championship. I'm just saying play for one. And in an interview, he was asked as he, when he declared for when he declared for the draft, they asked you, do you feel like your career is kind of incomplete at Georgia for not winning an SEC title? He said no. And I was like, really? And me being a Georgia fan, I didn't take to it. Like,
I got you, goat.
Really? And so, when you can become detached from, or feel like, you can move on and that won't be something that you at least have some regret.
Right.
To me, it told me something about his personality, not about his talent. They could win it. But I'm saying Joe Burrow, he coming to, I mean, you look at everywhere he's gone, it's something to being able to win and particularly win big games. And so he may be the underdog, or the Bengals may be the underdog in this game, but I don't think he thinks that.
Yeah, I'll address it on the betting side. One of the things that I heard, and it makes sense and it lines up with what you said, is that the people who are betting the Bengals are betting the money line. They're betting for the Bengals to win. This isn't about keeping it within.
I did not know that.
Yes, people are betting this game disproportionately, not disproportionately, equally actually, for the Bengals to win, disproportionate to the number. I'll say that. I'm gonna go, since you went full prediction, I'm gonna go Rams, and these are my reasons. And it's pretty much piggybacking what you said, but I think the game will be decided. Aaron Donald, Von Miller, Floyd, that pass rush.
Jalen Ramsey.
And I was literally about to say, I think when it's all said and done, I'm not saying that Jalen can lock up Jamar Chase, because Jamar Chase is definitely a special talent, but I think he can hold him and corral him. And T. Higgins' name is hard. Ain't taking that.
T. Higgins gets loose.
T. Higgins gets loose, and so does Boyd. I would like it better if the tight end was there. I think he's out. Yeah, Zuma, because he's done some work during the season at times.
He has.
I think that you can entice, and I know there's not a lot of data to support this, but I'm going to say this. I think you can entice, and they will entice, Burrow into some turnovers. And I think that will be the difference in the game.
Well, I mean, if they do that, then they will win.
Because you can't judge all of this, but early in the season, when my Bears beat Cincinnati, it was due to a lot of pressure, got him to throw into some coverages, and we got 3 interceptions on 3 consecutive pass plays. I think you can pressure him, especially if you can get it in the interior. If you can get, and that's anybody. I'm not making a great football statement, but if you can put pressure on Burrow up through the middle, you got a chance to sort of calm down some of the things.
So that's when I saw that, right? When I saw they gave up 2.8 sacks per game, I baked that in the cake. Like, he been getting sacked the whole time, and they still been winning.
But I think he's good at not like a great quarterback, and this is why I give him a lot of credit. Great quarterbacks know how to take the pressure, take the sack, live to fight another day. But I think they can push him into some fumbles, some bad throws. I think the moment, the magnitude of the game could push him into trying some things that he hasn't had to do. And even in that second half of that game, he was able to play loose because they were down. I think if the game is tight, he tightens up.
So
that's just my theory.
Well, no, I mean, but that's what you think, right? Yeah, that's what you think. And so
it could go the opposite way, but that's I'm going with that.
Oh, I mean, look, I ain't want to, put the kids' college fund on Cincinnati Bengals. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying when I look at it, and when you start to look at, like, they kind of remind me of the Eli Manning team when they won the Super Bowl. I believe it was the first time when they went on the road and won all. Yeah. Well, obviously all the playoff games on the road, which is, one of the toughest things to do, which, Bengals didn't do that. They beat the Raiders, one game at home, and then they went on the road. And I just feel like it's a team of destiny. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying when you look at, they've already faced Tyreek Hill, Kelsey, they've already, Mecole Hardman. They've faced the Super Bowl MVP and the NFL MVP. They faced the number one offense in the playoffs. It's not going to get harder when they face the Rams. Yeah. And so I believe that defense is just primed, and that was the main thing. And then you look at Joe Burrows, he was able to rally the squad, and he did play loose, but there's something to be said to come back from 21-3 on the road in Arrowhead.
No, there's something to that.
And so for me,
but I actually think that's, I'm riding in a weird way, though. I think that's easier to do, to go, hey, I'm playing loose. We out here we got nothing to lose. It's the playoffs. Then we in a tight game. It's 14-14 at the half. Correct. And now I got Aaron Donald and Von Miller hanging on me, and I'm trying to get the ball to Jamar Chase. Because Jamar Chase been locked up, and now I'm trying to force the ball. Then all of a sudden you make that play, something that happened.
I'm just saying, Burrow pedigree's real though. No, I mean, he wins this game. That's what. This is what. Like I
can't argue with that.
And so we got we got LSU, we got Georgia. Yeah. Quarterbacks going at it.
Man, forget the SEC. Stop trying to bring that shit up.
Sorry. I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I see what you did there.
I'm just saying.
I see what you did.
Hey, we got Sony Michel.
I see what you did.
The tailback for the Rams, UGA, Leonard Floyd. I should be going with the damn Rams, kind of think of it. Yeah. But no, I like the Bengals. Zach Taylor, coach of the of the Bengals.
He used to go get McVay coffee, right?
6-25 without Burrow. 6-25, 16-32, including this year's season. Brian Flores, 24-25 after the same amount of games. Brian Flores fired after back-to-back winning seasons. This is Zach Taylor's first winning season.
And you might not have done that.
Sorry, that's my.
No. But I don't know if you actually did this too. But what is Brian Flores' record when he has his quarterback?
I believe it's I don't know, but I know he was 10-6 last year with Tua and Ryan Fitzpatrick. Yeah, and I know he had a winning record with Tua. Yeah. This past season. So I did not do those numbers, but the point that you're making is valid. I mean, you look at Zach Taylor was 2-14 his first season. Yeah. And so, hey, look, man, what I'm not saying is that Zach Taylor doesn't deserve the opportunity. I'm just simply saying that you fire a guy after back-to-back winning seasons, considering the struggles that Brian Flores had. And this is I don't mean to open up this can of worms.
No, I think you need to, because I wanted to close with this.
Okay.
So this is good.
Okay, so I'm not saying that Zach Taylor doesn't deserve the opportunity, particularly with a new quarterback. But this is what we've been saying. This is what part of the point, not the whole point, but part of the point is that the minority coaches don't have the same margin for error. And what happens is when you have they're all white. When you have an owner hiring a black coach, he somehow thinks it's some de facto referendum on his organization not being racist. And so they kind of tout that with, oh, look, we hired a black head coach.
We tried.
but you fire him the moment that it gets rocky.
Yeah.
And it's similar. It's similar to some of my friends, my Caucasian friends, when they introduce me to their Caucasian friends, they go, "Oh, he's cool. Oh, he's cool." And you think that you're not racist because you're friends with me, which to me is the most racist thing you could ever do, is think that because if you're not racist, guess what you're not doing?
You don't have
figure
to
out ways to prove you're not racist.
Exactly.
And so when you start talking about, Brian Flores, you start talking about, even going back to Ray Rhodes when he had his one season with Green Bay, he got fired after going 8-8, Art Shell, and the list literally goes on. This is what we're talking about. We're talking about a guy who got fired after back-to-back winning seasons, and this is something that has been just throughout. And now we have the hiring of Lovie Smith, who got fired from the Bears after a 10-6 season and got fired from Tampa Bay. Was it one season with Jameis Winston?
One. No, I believe it's two. Don't quote me.
So anyway, that was just something that I thought not for nothing, but for something.
No, I definitely wanted to talk about Lovie Smith.
Are you looking that up?
Yes.
Okay.
I wanted to talk about Lovie Smith just briefly because he did get that job with the Texans. And I think there was a guy, Peter K. I'll shout him out, a listener who decided to get in our comments here on Statlines Matter and make the statement, I believe very lazy statement that, it's about winning and owners should be able to hire who they want. It should never be based on race, and it should never be based on, what somebody's race is. And my feeling is simply this. You're right. Shouldn't be based on race. Even the playing field out. Just make the same criteria the same for everybody. You gave Joe Judge, who didn't even deserve the job in the first place, 2 years to figure it out? Probably 2 years more than he should have had on the job. You have New Orleans now, who just gave Dennis Allen an opportunity. Dennis Allen was 8-20 as a head coach. And so I asked the question to Peter K., would those coaches, if they were black, would Dennis Allen get a second opportunity to be a head coach in the NFL? The only reason that Lovie Smith has gotten subsequent jobs is because he did a pretty good job with Chicago, and he got to a Super Bowl. And I think part of Lovie's story, I think the Bears actually did him a favor from a long-term standpoint in money by firing him when it's 10-6, because it's a nice footnote that I think he kind of left on a high note. So everyone who's employed in Tampa Bay, University of Illinois, and now the Texans sort of look to that and go, he did get them 10-6. It's helped him on some level, even though
and to the Super Bowl.
I said the Super Bowl.
Oh, okay, all right.
I said the Super Bowl.
All right.
So
just make sure you say it a little louder.
No, I said the Super Bowl. I said no. Listen, Lovie is a good coach, but I don't think Lovie's a great coach. And I'll be the first to admit, I'm not going to sit here and revise history. And I think a lot of Bears fans have done it because we haven't had much success since he left. But we wanted him out. Like, we asked for him to be out because Chicago is one of those cities that wants a coach that's, got a fire in his belly and he's over there doing his best Ditka. And Lovie wasn't that. And
Lovie,
we felt
one season with Jameis.
One season with Jameis, 2 years in the
total
job.
year, but I mean, you fire him after.
You give him a rookie quarterback. No, and that was the point I was going to make. This is very much like that Tampa Bay situation. Obviously, they were the worst team in football. They got the number one pick, which is what Jameis was. This team has the worst, I believe, the worst personnel in all the league, the one he's coaching now.
Yes.
They fired the previous black coach after
one season?
One season after the GM traded the likes of DeAndre Hopkins and J.J. Watt and Laramie Tunsil as well. So three key, really good players.
And there was a terrible trade.
And then didn't get much back. And then sat their franchise quarterback who was playing top 5 football, sat him. Obviously, full disclosure, Deshaun Watson has off-the-field issues, but has never been charged with anything. And they could have played him or taken a suspension and then got him back on the field while they were awaiting what was going to happen with him. The reality of it is they paid him to stay away. So that coach Cully didn't have a chance. Lovie Smith doesn't have a chance. Just to close out my prediction on the Super Bowl, I'm going Rams 31, Bengals 21.
Oh, so this is going to be in the bag.
I don't think I think it's going to be a close game all the way.
Double digit. I
think it's going to be a 3-point game most of the game, and then they'll punch a touchdown up.
Are you going to invest? You got to invest. It's the last game of the season.
I don't know. Because I don't know. Maybe.
You know, you get close. You got to go. You're going to lay down a little.
Well, the only reason I might not invest is I'm in a one of those it's not a knockout pool, but it's one of those everybody put in money.
Yeah.
And then you pick all the games with a number. And I'm in first place.
I think
so. I'm gonna get a nice check
anyway.
I can get no worse than a tie for first. But if I win the game, I win.
How much bread you get for time?
We not gonna say. We just split first and second. Like I don't want to. So I don't want to put the money.
I got excited. I think I just hyped myself up just talking about it, and hearing myself say the things why I think the Bengals are going to win. So I think I am going to place.
Put that college fund out there. I'm going
to do some investing.
Especially the one that's watching the porn. Put his college fund. Man. Put his college fund up.
Hey, she might be liquidating that shit. She might be liquidating it right. Yes.
Put his up.
Hey, let me tell you something. So it was kind of quiet for a quick second, and then all of a sudden you hear. I don't know what she did at her computer. But it was mad. It was noisy. I looked back to see if it was broke because I just kind of just did like this, which I'm sure annoyed her, but I just want
right.
Everything was still intact. I don't know if she slammed the doors. I don't know what. And then she just screamed out, I want to disappear.
You're going to get in so much trouble. I hope she does not watch this episode to the end.
Oh, snap.
She's going to shut it off after the opening segment.
Hey, look, then I leaned in there and I told my oldest, I said, hey, look. Now ain't the time to be effing up.
Yeah, mind your man.
He was like, what? What happened? And I was like, I'll tell you in a minute.
Yo, you ever heard of Pornhub?
Yeah, he gonna be like, nah,
never heard of it. Anyway, that's a good place to break. Well, like always, I thank you. Every fan, but particularly if you're still here and you've listened all the way to the end, God bless you and thank you for tuning in this week. We appreciate you again. Like I always say, go follow us at statlinesmatter on all of our social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, all of that. There's different content in different places, TikTok as well. And definitely on our YouTube, subscribe and get the notifications. And the audio version of this podcast is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and any other place that you can download podcasts. So on behalf of my partner, Rob Hunter Jr. and his family,
pray
for them.
Family, yeah.
And on behalf of myself, I thank you for watching. This is Stat Lines Matter.
Bad boy. I ain't come for games. Say it to my face. Say it to my face. I ain't come for games. Say it to my face. Say it to my face.